What's up? It's your boy Q Connect, and I'm back with another one. I just wanted to go ahead and go over try to do a quick video about moving from Los Angeles to Las Vegas. We've been here, my family and I have been here for about a year now. My wife and my kid, and I just want to just give everybody an update or just let you know how it is for anyone who's moving from California or moving from Los Angeles to Las Vegas to just give you my experience and what my wife and my kid, what we've been through. Again, we only been here a year. My experience might be different from others, but I'm gonna go over the pros and the cons. I'm gonna go over again my experience and just some text that I got from it. All right, so let's get right into it. So the why. So the reason why we moved from Los Angeles to California, the main reason why is because of the cost of living. Los Angeles is very expensive. We lived in Canoga Park. We lived in a one-bedroom apartment. We was paying over $2,000 for an apartment. Now we live in a nice area of Vegas, and we pay less than that, and we have a house, 3-bedroom house, way less than $2,000. So that's just right off top is one of the good reasons or good things or good reasons why people move from Las Vegas or from California or LA to Las Vegas, because the cost of living. But to get deeper into the cost of living, so let me just go into the pros. The pros of living in Las Vegas compared to Los Angeles, of course, is the cost of living. It's a lot cheaper than LA. Another thing I would say is if you are working in Los Angeles or Las Vegas, you don't have income tax, so you don't get that extra tax from the state like if you worked in California like they do. I think in California they take almost $200 to $300 extra out of your check for each check, just for the state taxes and stuff, and we don't get that here, so that's actually a pro. Another pro, which I have a small list here is we don't have traffic. Now, I do live in a farther away part from the Vegas Strip. There is traffic near the Vegas Strip, but the farther you live out from the Las Vegas Strip, you see a big difference. Actually, you don't see much traffic at all. I actually don't ever see traffic. Now, I do work from home. My wife does drive in, but I think it literally take her a true 30 minutes to get to work or 20 minutes to get to work. And anyone from California when I say true 30 minutes, you know what I mean. It might say 30 minutes that you got to travel somewhere in LA, but as soon as you get the driving, it turns to 45 to an hour to an hour and a half. To be honest, anything 30 minutes or lower in California and LA is amazing. We love that when you're driving, because I feel like you spend more time driving than you actually do going to the place that you want to experience or wherever you're trying to go. So really no traffic. I will say another pro thing is it's always clean. Again, the outskirts of the Vegas Strip is clean. Henderson area, Summerlin, Centennial, those areas are super clean. I rarely see trash, and if you do see trash, it's simply because the wind blew it towards you or whatever, because it gets real windy out here. You don't see any grass. I will say that I rarely see grass, only if you go to a park, but no houses out here have front grass or back grass. So you don't see any grass. You see a lot of rocks and dirt. It actually feel like we're in a true desert out here in Las Vegas. But it's clean. They keep the streets well kept. I do hear one thing a lot of locals say is a lot of construction going on, but the areas that don't have construction is very clean. The freeways are super clean, and it looks simple. You don't have all type of things. You rarely see any graffiti anywhere, at least again in the local areas of Las Vegas and a little bit away from the Strip. I will say that that's one of the pros is it's clean. You don't have to worry about that. And then another thing people are asking me is homeless people. I rarely see homeless people in the local areas of Las Vegas. Now, if you get closer to the Strip, maybe a block from the Strip or even from downtown Vegas, there is homeless people. There actually is a lot. It almost looks like Skid Row in certain parts of Las Vegas where you see a whole bunch of homeless people. But these are literally on the outskirts of the Strip, like literally. But when you get farther past the outskirts of the Strip and get more into like the cities like Henderson, Summerlin, even some parts of North Las Vegas, which they tell you to stay away from that part, you don't see as many as homeless people. And I think one of the reasons why is because it's hot as hell out here during the summertime. So where would they stay other than underneath, underground? Here there's like an underground encampment. But other than that, I rarely see any homeless people. I rarely see any panhandling. There is panhandling out here, but I rarely see it at all. At least in the area that we stay in. So I rarely see that. So those are one of the pros. You don't really see that. Another pro I will say is, I think that's it. I think that's it for as far as what we experience, as far as like one of the good things about moving to Las Vegas. Income tax is clean. And then the cost of living overall, as far as housing and stuff, is a lot cheaper. So yeah, so the cons of living in Vegas. So my wife, I don't want to say she hates Vegas, but she doesn't like the simple fact that there is no beach. Now they do have like Lake Mead, Hoover Dam and all that, but it ain't the same. There's no beach for us to just go travel to and go to, other than going to Las Vegas. I mean, going to LA. So we are missing the beach. Another con is during the summer, it was our first summer here. Oh my gosh, it was 100 degrees every day, more than 100 degrees every day. And you know how in LA it gets hot during the day, but then that, during the nighttime it cools down. You don't get that during the summer here. So it's hot from, I want to say maybe July to the beginning of October. It's hot. And then you don't really get that in between. I think maybe the second week of October, it kind of cooled down and it was like 80, 90s. But it was like literally like this. One day was 90 degrees. The next day it's windy and it's cold. Like we're literally wearing sweaters and beanies and stuff. So the weather just flipped on us like that. You don't really get that time. Now we came around the same time, and I think we did experience spring. I don't really remember if it was cool or not, but it might have cooled down a little bit. But from July to now, oh my gosh, it was heating up. It was hot. You stay in the house all day. And they don't really have any outdoor events during the summertime because it's too hot. So that's one of the things I do miss about LA. There's things going on year round where you can be outside, like farmer markets, festivals, and all that great stuff. Here, they don't have that during the summertime. Now, I will say right now, and I think the beginning of October, and maybe until maybe the middle of November is when it probably stops. They do have festivals. I know they have the Italian festival. They have a lot of pumpkin patches. They have a lot of the 702 market. They have a lot of festivals and food markets that you can go to and experience, which I think is actually pretty cool because we like being outside. So we have been able to experience that stuff when it cooled down. And then there's also restaurants that have outdoor sitting where we would go and just sit outside because it's not too cold. To be honest, we only had 1 week of that so far this week, and it's October, the 28th. It's too cold now. It's super windy out here and it's too cold. So I will say that's one of the cons of Vegas. The weather is not ideal to live if you're used to LA, which is sunny all year round and the weather is great. So that's one bad thing about it. Another thing that really shocked us is the electric bill. The electric bill. So in LA, we had electric bill every 2 months, and even then we didn't have central air and heat, so we had like an AC unit, which we rarely ran. And our electric bill came every 2 months. Here in Vegas, it comes every month. During the summertime, I think our bill got up to like $500, which blew my mind because of course you have to run the AC unit because it's just so hot. So the electric bill was high, 500, 400, 300, and now since it's the cooling down, we don't run the AC at all. I think our electric bill last month was like $100, $200. Now I will say this, during the winter time, once it get colder, you will have to run heat because it's too cold. But even last year when we did it, our electric bill never got past $100 or $200 when we ran the heat. So I will say, anyone moving from LA to Vegas, your electric bill will be tremendously high compared to LA. So that definitely got me. Another thing is car registration. So I used to really be upset because my registration in LA was $200 to $300. But in Vegas, we bought a car and our registration was $1,000. That's crazy. $1,000 to register my car, and apparently it's like that every year. Of course, they do it off the value of your car, but I was talking to somebody else and they told me the registration from California was $500 to $600, and they had a really cheap car. At least that's what they say as far as the value wise. So the registration here in Vegas is pretty expensive, and I think they do that to make up for like not income tax and stuff like that. And I would think it go towards keeping the upkeep of the local area and overall Vegas. So the registration was pretty high and I wasn't happy about that, but you gotta pay your registration to drive around. So that was definitely one that got me. Another thing too is food spots. So big in LA, I love Mexican food. The Mexican food in LA is amazing, or in California in general is amazing. Las Vegas Mexican food, and please don't come for me, is not that great. we've tried several Mexican restaurants and yet to find one. I think we found two that we like that are really good, but one of them is like a big restaurant, which, you know, it's cool. And then another one is like a hole in the wall, which it still is not that LA type restaurant, but it just wasn't good. It was better than the ones we went to. So I will say the Mexican food in the local areas of Las Vegas isn't really that good. And it could be better, you know, it could just be our taste. But we just really enjoyed it. And another thing, speaking of food, so in the local areas of Las Vegas, which we're still experiencing it, there's a lot of good spots, but there isn't as many as Los Angeles. Los Angeles is huge, and I feel like everybody, mom and pop, have restaurants. You can literally walk out the door and go to a restaurant. Where we live more away from everything. We have to kind of drive to get to any food restaurant where we at, which is cool at times. I guess it's saving us money because we don't want to drive and we'll cook at home. But during the weekend, we like to experience and go do things. Now, I have learned certain areas like Summerlin and Centennial, they do have a lot of cool spots to go to for local areas. But overall, if you want some good food, you have to go to the Strip, and then they charge an arm and a leg just to, you know, get anything there. You know, they tax their food 10 times than what it's actually, I want to say worth, but what you can get if you go somewhere else. So that's one thing about that. Moving forward, some more cons about it is, I guess that's it that I have so far. Like, so I wanted to make this video a lot quick. Overall, living in Las Vegas is cool. We're still trying to get used to everything as far as, like, you know, the areas and learning stuff. When we moved down here, we checked out 3 areas: Henderson, Summerlin, Centennial. A few local people that I know that live here said stay away from North Las Vegas. And even since we've been here, certain parts of North Las Vegas is nice. And then there are certain parts that's just like, yeah, this look kind of sketchy. So I will say, do your research if you're moving from Los Angeles to Las Vegas to figure out the cool areas. And then overall, I think a lot of people ask us the housing. So I think the average house in Los Angeles is between $700,000 to $800,000 to buy. Here in Las Vegas, I know it went up since we've been here. It's between, I think you can find a house, like a nice house, between I'm talking about like the average $300,000 to like $400,000 is like the average you'll find a nice home. And of course, anything higher than that, you know, you pay a little bit more. I know, like the areas, I know I keep saying this, but Summerlin and Centennial areas, of course, the house is a lot more expensive, but you get more than what you know, more for your bang. I know $1 million house in LA is probably like a small little, it look like a shack, but $1 million house out here in Las Vegas, you're gonna get 5 to 6 bedrooms. You're gonna get a lot of space, front yard, backyard, and it looks nice. It looks nice. So I will say that. What's some other pros and cons that I can think of? I will say this, I don't know why, but when we start getting Amazon Prime, we got a lot more packages the day of compared to when we was in LA. Maybe it was the area, but I think Amazon has a big hub here, and we was getting packages quick, literally the same day. Another thing too is jobs. So my wife actually has her master's degree, so it's easier for her to find a job. Me, I have a bachelor's degree. I mean, I already had a job moving here, but I was looking for a second job, and it was really hard trying to find something that wasn't the Strip, I should say, because I feel like hospitality jobs are big here, and then also security jobs, in which I didn't want to do either one. So it was hard finding jobs outside of that, and then also in the local area. As far as job wise, there's jobs out here. You just gotta, you know, hustle and grind to find it. But one more thing before I want to recap is just going out and stuff. I think I hear a lot of locals say they never hit the Strip. We rarely go to the Strip ourselves, one, because it's, like I said, it's everything out there is just super expensive as far as like food and stuff. And they do have a lot of activities. It's great. The entertainment is amazing. You got concerts. They have a lot of activities to do, like the museums and arties type stuff. And but other than that, I mean, I think I already said clubs and stuff. Other than that, I think Las Vegas needs to add more local stuff to do in the local areas instead of every local having to go to a Strip to experience or do stuff. But to just end this video, my overall experience in Las Vegas so far is amazing. It's great. I love it. We still learning the areas. There's more areas than the 3 that I named, of course. And we're still just trying to, you know, figure things out. We're still trying to figure out, like, you know, as far as like what locals do here, the areas, what to eat, all that good stuff. A lot of people also ask, do they think we'll move back to LA? Yeah, I'm open to it. My wife would love to move back, but as far as right now, this is where we at now, and you know, we just trying to, you know, make the best of it. We got a daughter we're trying to raise, and, you know, just trying to do everything we can. Other than that, this was, like I said, a quick video. I will probably do a more in-depth video, just, you know, probably walking around showing what it is to be a local out here, because everyone knows what the Strip is about, but not many people know about the local area. I know every time I pick somebody up from the airport just to go to Strip and I show them like where we live, they're like, oh, I didn't know this was like this. Yeah, it is. Vegas does have a nice local area that people live compared to just, you know, the glims and glamours of Las Vegas Strip. So that's where I'm gonna end the video. Man, if you're a local and you watch this, man, put down in the comments some places for us to experience, some food places, some bars, or even just some fun things, family friendly things that, you know, we can go do. Like I said, we have experienced a few. We went to farms and other stuff, but I'm sure there's more that we don't know about. So put it in a comment. I appreciate you if you stayed this far. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Peace.